Well, good afternoon, everyone. Michael with Walking the Crossroads with Michael. Sorry it's taken this long. I've been out of town quite a bit, and it's been a little while since I've done the last one. I'll try to do better and get the next one done sooner. But anyway, greetings to you all. Hope things are going well. I'm continuing to get emails and chats from around the world, so I appreciate that. And if you notice, I'll bring it a little closer. This is my Vegas cup. Instead of my Michael cup or my Happy cup, it's my Vegas cup. I just got this because I just got back from Vegas not too long ago. It was one of the trips that I've been on, and it's an interesting trip. I've been to Vegas a lot. Been around the world, a lot of places. But Vegas is a very unique place because when you look into people's eyes, when you see all that's around you, you see people wanting to have fun. You see people wanting to find some kind of joy and happiness and spending money or doing what they do there. They think that's going to get them there. And one of the things that I'm going to talk about, in fact, not one of the things, the thing I'm going to talk about in this blog is this. It's about value. We can talk about, I'm not going to go into a financial tirade of values of this or values of that, because certainly I could. It irks me when kids that are, making $6-7 an hour waiting at a, little fast food place will go and spend 3 hours of their money to go get a fancy coffee and a muffin from this place where they could go get a little muffin and a decent coffee at a gas station for a fraction of the price. But what's the value in that? Like I said, I'm going to stop that because I can go on a tirade with that. It irritates me how there are people up there making money off of taking money from people that don't have the money for it. And the value is, it's perceived. In that situation, it's like I'm getting a better cup of coffee, I'm getting a better sandwich, I'm getting a better meal, I'm getting a better article of clothing, just because of a brand. And I'm in marketing, so I understand branding, and branding is important. And good value with good quality, my goodness, absolutely. But when you start spending lots and lots of money just because of a symbol on a shirt or a symbol on a cup, then I take issue with that. But it's capitalism, it's the way we roll, and it's everybody's decision to go, okay, I'm going to go get a 99-cent cup of coffee and put some flavored creamer in it, or I'm going to go get a lot of other higher brand coffee from this fancy place. I was in New York one time, and there were 4 of the same coffee shops on every corner of one block. I'm not kidding you, I couldn't believe it. I was kind of lost and walking around, and I was like, wait a minute, and it was like incredible. It was like one on every corner. Anyway, like I said, I could go off on that for quite some time, but let's talk about the concept of valuing people, okay? Obviously, this Crossroads is about us bettering ourselves, becoming better people, enjoying life around us. And one of the key things, and obviously I say that a lot because there's a lot of different things in our lives that we need to deal with. And this encompasses a lot of them, because just like we want to value our house or value our kids or value our car, whatever it is we value, we tend to put our time, our effort, and our money into. So if you want to kind of take a quick look at what you're valuing, look at your checkbook, look at what you spend your time on. How many workers are lost in the job and end up getting fired because there was no value given to them, no time given to them by their superiors, left to their own devices, and then they wonder why they fail, or they wonder why they don't exceed or at least meet expectations. And that's a whole business scenario that I could go into as well, but I'm not going to, because I want you to know, first and foremost, that you are of value. You are valued. There are so many suicides and broken relationships and homeless people and people that seem to be doing wonderful. I mean, you've read about, all the millionaires in life that are miserable. They have all the money they need, but they're still searching. They're still looking for something. They don't have the joy inside. And let me talk about value in this sense. Okay, I did an acronym. And I'll try not to chase too many rabbits and get off. I've been chastised because I start something and I never go back to it because I get on something else. But I'll try to make sure and stay on track this time. But value, the acronym is one of the things that we want, and we are wired to want to be valued, to want to be liked, to want to be noticed, to want to make a difference. There's nobody born into this world that is born to go, I just want to be a solitude person. And granted, there are those, as they grow up and get into the adult life, they would rather have solitude than be around a group of people. But for the most part, we are wired that we want value. We want to be noticed. We want to be taken care of and looked at. So the value that I want to talk about is, first and foremost, is the V. We need validated. Okay? You need validated. But you also, as I talk about what we need, you need to validate those around you that are important to you. You need to validate those people that are in your influence. Heck, you need to validate the cashier at the grocery store. I've said it before. They're human beings. They've got bills. They've got relationships. They've got things in their life going on. And they need to be validated that they matter. They're a human being. They're taking their time to serve you. So validation is part of value. Okay, you are validated. You matter. All right. The second one is accepted. I like to be accepted in a crowd. I like to be accepted in a group. Nobody likes to come to a party, comes to a group meeting or business meeting and sit there, and you're the lump on the log in the back corner that nobody pays attention to, and you're not really accepted into that circle. You're not accepted into that conversation. You're not accepted into that dialogue. So yes, we need to be accepted, but again, think of it as you need to accept those around you. Okay? So V is validation, A is accepted, L. It's very simple. We want to be liked. We want to be liked. We want people to enjoy us when we're around them. And that means that you need to take the opportunity and the time to like those that interact with you. And if you don't like them, if they really irritate you, if they rub you the wrong way, then be honest about it. Don't string people along and do the acting game and manipulate them, because really, in a sense, that's a deception in life. And deception is it's lying. It's hard on people. It hurts. It's not being truthful in who you are. So genuinely take the time to like those around you. You might not like all about them, but there's got to be something, if you're interacting with them, that draws you to them and draws you together. So there are many people in my life that I like their personality in a certain situation, but then you get them out of that environment, get them in another environment, I'm not really that keen on them. They're not really that great of a person that I want to be around. But in some environments, they're perfectly wonderful. They're perfectly a person that I would like to engage with in that scenario. So like somebody, okay? Validate, accept, like, and the fourth one is understand. We all want to be understood. Understanding somebody is a way of caring for somebody. And again, the caring, the liking, the understanding, it's really, when you walk into a room or you're in a relationship with somebody and things just start going awry, and you're wondering what's going on here? Why is this happening? Well, a lot of times a root of that is there's not a clear understanding of each other's thoughts, goals, hearts, where you're going. I've talked to people before that, you see relationships split and they're like, well, they just weren't on the same page as me. Well, then we can get into selfishness and all that as far as relationship goes, but that's not what this is about. This is about just taking the time to understand the person you're with, okay? And for everybody else, as you look outward, understand also in your own mind that those people want to be understood. Don't just kind of go with your own agenda and just bowl through them and, let's go here, let's do this, let's do that, let's talk about this. Understand where they're coming from. The whole thing about people being together, it's interesting. Because again, I go back to that in the book that I did the scenario about the sequoia trees, the redwoods. They are strong because their root system is united. You will never find a redwood off on its own. Okay? You will never find one off on its own. It will not make it the 200 plus years that the ones in the groves do. So we want to be liked, we want to be understood, we want to be part of a community. That's who we are. So again, think about that for yourself, but think about that for those around you, because you could be the person that helps that other person through a scenario, through a crossroads in their life, because you took the time to value them, you took the time to understand them. And the last one is esteem. Okay? To esteem somebody, to lift them up. Do what I'm doing here, encourage them. So value as a whole is extremely important in our daily walk with the people around us. And it's important for us ourselves to value ourselves. You do matter. There are people that do look at you and do care about you and do not ever think that you are alone. And if you do, there are plenty of places and people around that can work with you, that can talk with you, that can show you that there's purpose in your life. I think a lot of people that are devalued go away thinking, well, I have no purpose, I'm alone, there's nothing for me to do, why am I even here? Has anybody said that? I know I have. And to some degree, most people have. So don't think you're alone in that. Go to church, go to a police station if you're sitting there with a gun in your hand thinking that, I'm done. I'm of no use to anybody. You go to a police station and say, hey, I need some help. I'm on the verge. Go to a hospital. There are plenty of social places that there are people when you come to that line, and I hope you never do. And I hope that's part of what this video is about, is to keep you from getting to that place where you're just in such a desperation that you don't feel a value to anybody. Because you can, and I've said it before, go out and give. Go out and get into you might need the rescue mission, but go out and serve in the rescue mission. Get in the soup line and serve the food. Help prepare it, Go and sort clothes for people that have just been through a hurricane or a flood or something. We just had the one in South Carolina, and I was in one, and actually I've been in several, and they're just not fun. Any kind of disaster is not fun to deal with. And that's, trying to be real light about it, but they can be very, very hard times to go through things where you've lost everything. Things are one thing, and then you lose people as well, and that's even that much harder. But I want you to go away from this blog thinking about two things. You are valued, and you need to look for that value around you, everywhere around you. But you also need to give value to others. I think one of the worst things that, we talk about criminals, we talk about relationship breakings and all this kind of stuff. I think one of the worst things somebody can do to somebody else is to devalue them. To not just criticize them, but to basically have a character assassination and just tell them they're no good and they're good for nothing. And you know, why? Why would you want to devalue somebody? So if you are one of those, then don't do that. I'm just going to come right out and say, don't do that. Don't even think about not doing it. Just don't do it, because we are all precious. We're living human beings that do matter, that have relationships, that, you know, we enjoy football games, we enjoy sports, we enjoy soccer, we enjoy symphonies. There's so much to life. I was sitting here with my coffee this morning, with my Vegas cup. See, I hadn't even gone to my cup that often yet. And I was watching the waterfall and the birds and the squirrels and you know, the cat came up and sat on my lap, and you know, I just had a breath because I had a kind of a rough night last night. I had some moments of just not despair, but you know, just kind of grungy for the day, going, you know, what's going to happen today? You know, I don't know what tomorrow holds, but that's the adventure of it. And the part of the adventure for me is getting this out and going, okay, I'm going to sit down and do my blog today because I value you. And that's part of what I believe is my value, is to encourage you to make it through, to get through those tough times, to love those around you, to like those around you, to esteem those. So God bless you. And I hope I didn't go too long, but you are of value, and I wanted to get this message to you so that you can go out and give value to other people as well. Don't be that person that devalues somebody, that's a character assassinator. Don't do that. That doesn't help anybody, especially adults to children, parents to children. Come on, man. Don't do that to your kids. You know, it's one thing to discipline and love. It's another thing to absolutely just character assassinate them because, you know, they didn't put up the dishes right, or they didn't make their bed, or whatever. Don't do that. Don't do that. And adults, don't do it to adults. Bosses, don't do it to employees. You know, think about the fact that you're dealing with a human being that has a heart and a soul and a spirit. And I can guarantee you, your family life, your relational life, your work life, your business, every one of those scenarios will go so much better. You want to see a higher profit in your business? You start valuing all your employees. You start putting time and effort into them. You start throwing out, you know, take your wife to dinner on your anniversary, you know, take the day off, and or whatever. You start giving like that, you are going to see positive results. You want negative results? You throw out the negative. You criticize and stuff, and you'll see negative all over the place. You don't want negative, then be positive. Value people. Value yourself. You take care. God bless. Until the next time. This is Michael, Crossroads, walking the crossroads.